Conclusion. The sons of Israel understood the parabolic pantomime of the Passover parable because it spoke in terms of the religious symbolism they knew and understood. They also had Moses to explain to them what God was doing. But perhaps the most striking indication that the sons of Israel understood the parabolic pantomime they conducted on that first Passover can be found in Miriam's Song of the Sea, Exodus 15, 17, and 18. Thou wilt bring them and plant them in the mountain of thine inheritance, the place, O Lord, which thou hast made for thy dwelling, the sanctuary, O Lord, which thy hands have established. The Lord shall reign forever and ever. Miriam is clearly speaking in terms of the parabolic imagery related to the Passover and Exodus from Egypt. Her song tells us that when the sons of Israel came out of Egypt, they expected to continue on to the cosmic mountain of God, where the deceased king, corporate Israel, would be planted as the living tree of life, in accordance with the understanding common to all ancient Near Eastern religions. Unfortunately, for those who came out of Egypt at that time, God had other plans. For when they reached God's mountain, God told them they could not even touch the mountain, much less climb it to ascend in the resurrection. At that time, God began to teach the sons of Israel the requirements that one must meet if one intends to enter into the resurrection from the dead. Moses told the sons of Israel that God expected them to pass along to future generations the teaching, or Torah. The Hebrew term Torah means teaching. They had heard. But they failed to do that because rebellious members of Israel went their own way and distorted the teaching things that came from their own minds rather than the mind of God. Jesus Christ restored the teaching of Moses by once again revealing it to the apostles, telling them to hand it down to the next generation. He even established the discipling method whereby they were to accomplish that. But the church did exactly what the sons of Israel had done. They distorted the truth concerning God's works and His Word. Less than a century after the death of the apostles, the teaching was again lost. God is now, for one last time, at work restoring all things concerning the teaching. But He is not requiring that this generation pass it along to the next. It is much too late for that. As Jesus said, this generation will not pass. Those who hear the truth now must use what they hear to save themselves, and those who have ears to hear will hear. But remember Lot's wife.